Welcome back to Valley Spotlight over at Mocha House for our neighborly legal advice. I've chosen a very manly latte. Danielle's got a beer here, and she just threw some tea in there to make it look good. I'm just kidding. Danielle's here and wanted to talk today about powers of attorney. We had a big response to the estate segment, so we thought, well, let's get into this a little bit. Here's something I don't know a ton about, but
Sure.
You're kind of well-versed in this sort of thing. How important, let's start there, how important for people my age and up for powers of attorney?
Powers of attorney are extremely important.
Okay.
I would say anyone over the age of 18 should technically have a power of attorney.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when we do our planning, the powers of attorney are the most important document that we put into place.
Why is that?
Simply because you get to name somebody to handle your own affairs if you're not able to.
Okay.
And with the medical advances and people living longer, the likelihood of somebody living but not being able to make their own decisions is higher than simply just passing away. Obviously, everyone passes away, and we hope that you don't become incapacitated, but they can become very important if that were to occur.
And there are different kinds of powers of attorney. I'm a financial one, but that doesn't mean I'm the medical one, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay, how does that work?
There's two types of powers of attorney. There's a healthcare power of attorney, exactly how it sounds. That person makes decisions if you're not able to make your own healthcare decisions.
Okay.
And then we have the financial power of attorney. That individual will make decisions for you if you need help with making sure your bills are paid, making sure your income tax returns are filed, making investment decisions, things like that.
Okay. If I'm an older person, I want my kids to be powers of attorney, can I have more than one?
You can. So there's some considerations there, naming one child and then the other, it helps avoid disagreements or, any type of dysfunction within the family.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you want to name multiple individuals, you can do that. You just have to consider, do I want them to be required to act together, meaning that they would both have to act on a certain action, or am I okay with them acting independently of the other, just making sure that they keep each other informed?
Okay. Are they supposed to do my wishes, or are they supposed to do what the smartest thing is at the time, or maybe a combination of both?
It's a combination of both. So somebody acting under a power of attorney, they are acting as a fiduciary in a fiduciary capacity, meaning they owe you certain duties as acting on your behalf. They technically are supposed to handle your affairs in the manner that you would handle them if you were able to, but they also have to make the right decisions in that they have to act prudently. So if somebody would do this type of investment and that's what a prudent person would do, that's what the agent under the power of attorney.
If I don't have one and things start to go south, then what happens? You've talked about probate a little bit too.
Yeah, so the purpose of having powers of attorney is to avoid the need for a guardianship through the probate court. And guardianships are extremely tedious. They require having, in most cases, an attorney involved at least initially. You have to do probate court filings. You have to report to the probate court. You have to get the court's permission to spend money on behalf of the person that you're acting for. So it is very important to attempt to avoid that if you can.
Okay, last question. How do I sign up to be one, or how do I appoint one if I'm someone that needs one?
Sure. So there are power of attorney documents that you can put into place. There's a statutory form for both the financial power of attorney and the power of attorney for healthcare. That means there's essentially a law in the state of Ohio that says what those forms are supposed to say. But most importantly, you should reach out to an attorney and discuss, implementing those.
That's right. If you have suggestions or questions, a good person to talk to is someone like Danielle, your attorney at law. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Can I have a Buckeye?
Absolutely.
You can have one too?
Dig in.
All right, let's dig in. That's your neighborly legal advice for this week.